Hi, it is the 21st day of August in the year 2013, and this is Bonnie Landago. Thank you for tuning into Virgo Moon on a Coffee Break 2011.blogspot.com. And Virgo Moon on a Coffee Break is for everybody, not just Virgos or Virgo Moons. Today I want to offer to you part two of the Aquarian or Aquarius full moon, which is actually a blue moon. Blue moon meaning that it is the second full moon in Aquarius within a 28-day cycle. And a blue moon can mean many things. I'm sure you can find various connotations and indicators of what it means to you personally. But as a general whole, let's say that the blue moon reveals the magic and the mystery at play in your life. I'm going to try to do a bit of a shortened version here of my message, and then I'll indicate when we'll get into a longer or extended version that you may or may not wish to speak to. An Aquarius full moon marks a time of completion, celebration, resolution, letting go of something that held you back, because Aquarius is the sign of freedom, freedom from all which does not allow you to move forward with what it is you're here to do in this lifetime. Aquarius also means unexpected, quirky, quick, electrical bolts of lightning change. Aquarius is of course represented by two undulating waves of water, so lightning quick or very quick water. So whatever is going to come into your life around this time of the full moon, and that of course could be after the full moon, is something that may be a bit of a surprise. Maybe it will be that your attitude will awaken, and wherever you've been stuck, you suddenly realize another perspective, that aha moment, or another way of viewing things, and that manner of viewing things will give you greater freedom. That's the overall idea of this particular full moon. We want to use a few other words: revolution, innovation. Again, those words meaning helping you break through any restrictions that are holding you back. So let's say that's your short message, and if you want to tune in to just a little bit more, here we go. This particular full moon in Aquarius, not only because of the placement of the moon, but because of what other planets are doing amongst each other, or how they're communicating with each other, we're going to see a bit of an idea around an illumination between your lower and higher mind. How does that sound? So again, we see the concept of whatever was holding you back, but this time let's look at whatever was holding you back from self-expression. Now the light's going to shine on it because we have a full moon shining down, and others or yourself may have pertinent information revealed. If we keep it that simple, that's pretty easy to swallow. The planet Jupiter also comes into play during this lunation, and Jupiter is a sign of expansion and luck and all things which are good. And Jupiter is working with Uranus, and by the way, Uranus is the ruling planet of Aquarius, so you've got a double entendre there. So an expansion of some surprises, of some goodness, of some revelation intellectually, sees us once more having the impetus to break through any restrictions that inhibited you from experiencing grandness, Jupiter grandness, or prosperity in your lifetime. Not bad. We also see a few other movements in the planets which are telling us that there's a pretty good possibility that there's going to be a happy resolution, a peaceful revolution over any differences that have come about. And in one of the areas, well, let's say it might be in the area of love or marriage. At the same time, things are breaking apart. It is a prime opportunity, and I know you felt this in your bones already, to release any old patterns at play. Again, we have another double entendre where the Star of David, the connotation of the Star of David is coming into play, and this is offering you another opportunity to integrate the various aspects of yourself, bring them together so that you are more the whole and more complete within yourself. Expect a little more yin, expect more of the water and earth and femininity coming into play. So yin meaning receptive. This also attributes to your consciousness evolving rapidly, rapidly, rapidly. So we're given a red carpet, so to speak, at this time. Again, yet one more time again, to release old patterns of self-sabotage and self-abuse. This is probably going to lead to some sort of leap in the consciousness of humanity. And that's going to play out for several years to come. So yes, you are looking at a very pivotal, historic time right now with this moon. And it is a major turning point for us human beings, and I believe as well for animals here on the planet Earth. If you haven't already felt it in your bones, it's the time to make changes, to transform your life, and to heal. And that's not an understatement, and that's not a rote motion statement. That is bona fide right now. That healing is happening on an individual level as well as on a collective level. So you're probably going to see some highlights in your life as well as on the world stage, in the news, with respect to injustices. Injustices against Mother Nature, the feminine, against women, children, animals, in particular sea creatures, wild beasts. The Star of David comes into play here and offers a type of mothering, nurturing, protecting to those that are less fortunate, those who can't defend themselves, and those who have historically been trampled on by the masculine, ego-driven, lower-minded interests and agendas. That does not mean male. That means the masculine energy of the lower-minded, ego-driven agendas. And I think you know what I'm talking about. Now, just going just a little bit further, if you wish to stop listening now, of course, thank you for joining us thus far. I'm going to now speak a little bit more to the first tape that I published on Monday with respect to Alphard in the water snake. There's a theme of sudden great loss or sudden great gain. Again, that Jupiterian theme. And this great loss or this great gain, which will be present for each one of us, is going to force growth. That makes sense. Obviously, there may be some pain involved. In particular, if some of us have to separate from our family for any reason. Keep in mind at this time, many young people are going off to an institute of higher education, sometimes for the first time in their lives. Something to keep in mind. Also, we can see the aspect of the sun playing ball, if you will, with Ceres. And what we can have here is Father Sun, Mother Ceres, both protectors, but we can have the incidence of an idea of feeling betrayed, maybe even being scared, or being tainted somehow by family scandal, inheritance, ancestral trait. This may or may not be going on in your life. If so, think of that water snake. Think a little bit of the poisonous toxins that can be held in. Something has been happening generation after generation. Heavy duty karma from past generations, concentrated poison, if you will, in the water snake. And I'm not meaning that in a negative sense at all. We obviously have to release that concentrated poison. We have to release any toxins if they are present as they are rising to the surface of our souls, in particular for what I just explained in the very first portion of this. There's a two-way karma going on. And what I mean by that is, are we going to release it now, or are we going to take it with us to the next life? Am I saying this is the pivotal point of deciding that? Well, it's not for me to say that. You think about that. There's a dance, there's a circle to spin to, there's a wheel that we must all get on and decide if it's time to step off that wheel, if we become all too dizzy. You need an anchor to gain momentum right now. It's almost as if you've lost an appendage or lost a limb. And with this full moon, we are being gifted with what I spoke about in the first section that gives us an anchor. The sun asks us to be dignified as the sun is dignified, to be royal. No longer is the heavyweight king or that male dominance going to fling someone who's much more lightweight than him around. Now it's time for us to free ourselves from whatever it is that's holding us back as to what it is we're here to do in this lifetime. Love to hear about your Aquarian full moon. Love to hear about your blue moon. And if any of you are so inclined, you think you can maybe get a few great snapshots, send them along, and I'd love to post them on the blog. Okay. Peace out. Ciao, ciao. Thank you for joining us.